Here on the Ingram Angle, we bring you stories that no one else is covering because it's important for you to know exactly what's going on in our country. Now, earlier this week, we told you about the hundreds of Congolese migrants who entered our country via the southern border being dumped into San Antonio. My next guest, investigative journalist Urs Gehriger, went there to get the real story for himself. And he's here with exclusive recordings and information for us. Urs, you asked one of the migrants how they got here, and this is what she said. Let's watch.
Venu ici sur Équateur, non, Équateur, et après, comment vous faites?
Comment on va demander l'Équateur, pourquoi? Nous sommes ici aux États-Unis.
They seem very reluctant to give you information. Tell us about it.
Yes, I approached them in a pretty chaotic scene on the sidewalk, and then I asked them where they're from and how they came here, and they said Ecuador. And it took a while that they, were a little bit warmed up. And when they realized that I was asking about money and about who brought them here, they were backpacking. So they were not answering at all. And when I came back a few minutes later, and
you speak French, by the way. So Urs is Swiss, so he speaks German, French, and English. Show off. Yeah. So you speak French, so it was easy for you to communicate with them. Absolutely. And you said that there are very few translators. So the 30 or so people that are outside the shelter, you were able to speak to some of them.
Yes, yes, and there were really a lack of translators. I think there was one other person there who worked officially. So I asked them, and they wouldn't tell me anything about how they got here. And then they started to get aggressive, and they were contradicting each other. One said they went through the forest, and the other one said, no, there was no forest. And they were actually arguing among themselves. And when it came to money and help, that's when they started to get aggressive.
I want to play some more of this. Here's one of the migrants telling you about her journey.
Il faut savoir comment vous avez fait. Non, c'est très important. Mais bien sûr.
No, they don't want to tell you. Why the secrecy about how they got here? And people are concerned, you probably know, because there's been another outbreak, fairly serious, of Ebola in the Congo. Now, there's a long 21-day incubation period, so the sense is they couldn't be bringing it here. But still, people want to be sure. So that's why the questions are really important.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that might be one side. But the other thing is, I had the impression that somebody told them not to speak about it. And when they said, well, you're here now in the States, why do you ask about our past? And then came a very aggressive kind of claim, give me help. Now we're here, you have to help us, give us money.
Who's funding these migrants? I mean, who's...
I couldn't get deeper than this, but what I found out is through an aid worker there, he said they actually do have money, quite a few of them, because he spotted them under a tree right in front of the shelter, counting a roll of money with $100 bills, and he spotted them, and they just put it back in the pocket. He didn't take it away of them, of course, but they're still hanging there and waiting for, public help.
Where did they expect to be going? Did they have friends or family here?
They want to go, the ones, there's about 3 dozen left now of that 250 group, and they all want to go to Portland, Maine. So
they want, this is like the Congo and other African countries are being basically, they're repopulating Portland, Maine with a huge contingent of these immigrants, these migrants. And it's overwhelming the Maine authorities. I mean, they're pretty liberal up there. They're like, we can't take any more people, we're full up. But they're hoping to go there.
They're hoping, and they're told they can't go there, and they're told that I was told that there is no solution anytime soon for them.
All right, and you also found a document that a group called Races has been handing out to the migrants, and we're familiar with this group, but this is what it looks like. Tell us about what this document says, a particularly disturbing part of it. We'll put it up on screen.
Yeah. So they're handing that out. It's in French.
Yeah.
They're handing that out to the migrants, and they're telling them their rights. And when it comes to ICE, it says ICE is government. They are not your friends. And as a Swiss, I think, you know, what's this kind of information? And you flip the page, and it comes again with ICE and says ICE is kind of police. They are not friendly. Don't ever tell them anything confidential. So
this is outrageous. So this is an NGO, non-governmental organization, assisting aid workers, telling the migrants who are going to get money from the U.S. taxpayers not to cooperate with the government. Urs, thank you for going down there all the way from Switzerland. We really appreciate your help tonight understanding this story.